Hello everyone, good evening, and in this video I will demonstrate the laboratory exercise 10, which is sessions and cookies in PHP. Then the goal of this lab is to understand how PHP uses sessions and cookies to store user data, manage logins, and create a simple feature authentication system similar to real problem through websites. From websites. So let's moving on to part 1, understanding sessions. We're going to create a file which is a session start, which will which I already have the code for the session, and then I to store two values in this session, which is username and the role. So I use username, which is admin01, and the role is the administrator. So these values are stored inside the session super global array. Then we're going to test it. So I'll type localhost /10/ session start .php. Then as you can see, it displays what I said lately. The username I'm using is admin01 and its role is the administrator. So that's it. Then moving on to part 2, which is reading and destroying session. Then I'm gonna open the session read.php, and in this file I again call session start. Then I read and display the stored session values. So as you can see, there are echoes, which is the username and the role. Then I use the button session destroy the PHP if I try to destroy the session, and so we're going to demonstrate that. So I'm opening the session read. Then if I try to click the destroy session, so if I try once again, it will destroy the session, but then nothing happens. So Let's try PHP. I'll try once again. So nothing happens, and I'll demonstrate what will happen when the session destroy file existed. It's because it will remove all session data, and it will appear as empty when I try to click it, and it also ends the session and redirects the user back to the start page. So this completes the session life cycle, which is the CRUD, and CRD, which is create, read, and destroy. So moving on to part 3, working with cookies. So unlike sessions, cookies are stored in the client's browser. So I'm going to open it. I'm going to open the set underscore cookie .php. Then it appears as cookie as set. Yes, and I'm going to read the cookie, and the user color is blue. Then I also set in an expiration time, so the cookie automatically expires after a short period. Then I'm gonna then I retrieve and display the cookie value using the cookie array, which is displayed here. And the user color variable, and it displays as color blue. So the color that I'm using here is color blue, which is indicated here so that it displays blue as usual. So let's moving on to part 4. I already put another file here as an exception from the entire database. Entire file, which is comments.php, and I just added some narration, a bit narration here. So first is session regenerate ID. So it prevents session fixation attacks by generating a new session ID after login. So that's the first. Then second, the cookies should not store password. So password should never be stored in cookies because cookies can be stolen. So additional here, the cookies are stored on a client and can be stolen via XSS or browser access. So it isn't also isn't safe to put passwords on cookies. So the third one is the XSS cross-site scripting. So it allows attackers to inject malicious scripts that can steal cookies. So that's the job of the XSS. And it can also inject malicious scripts to steal cookies. Then the HTTP only flag prevents JavaScript from accessing cookies and protecting it against XSS attacks. So that's the HTTP only flag. And finally, the secure flag. It ensures the cookies are only sent over HTTPS connection. So that's what it's called, secure. First of all, then that's it. So moving on to basic login user sessions. Then I put some folder here which is the login module, and its contents are dashboard, login process, login, and logout. So first we're going to in login. So I'll try to open it here. Login.php. So here's the form. So I'm using this details so that I can log in this kind of these credentials right there. So I'll try to put it here, admin, or then I'll click the login button. So here it is. I log in. I already logged in. So that's the beginning of the login system for the system. And this page contains a simple login form for username and password, as well as the remember me checkbox. And the form sends data to login underscore process.php, which is right here. Then if the login is successful, the session ID is regenerated and the username is stored in the session. So as you can see here, so we're moving on to part 6, which is persistent login using cookies. Now, when remember me option is checked, a cookie is created that stores the username for 7 days. And if the user closes the browser and opens the site again, the system automatically logs the user in. Using the cookie. So it just, it doesn't forget. So as you can see, I try to log in again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and And when I log out, try to log out, it automatically logs out. That's it. That's the best practices. And part 8. So that's all. Thanks for watching.